We will go over all of the most recent news regarding cryptocurrencies. It is possible to call in with questions, comments, and concerns during the program, which lasts approximately 1 hour, give or take a few minutes. To get a better understanding of what is going on, we first evaluate the current state of affairs and then look at a few pricing charts. To this day, the market has been extremely uninteresting, hasn't it? We are currently in the large chop range accumulation zones, which means that the terrain that we are observing is relatively flat. Jerky macho, you are free to do whatever you want. Nevertheless, the increasing tendency has not yet turned into a reality. On the other hand, we are aware that Bitcoin will make a significant move to approximately 74,000, which will indicate the launch of the forthcoming push-ups. At this point, we are aware that XRP is deserving of being outraged, not just for 66 cents, but also for 75 cents, because that is what is going to happen in the future. A great number of individuals were of the opinion that it was unavoidable and would take place sooner rather than later, yet it seems as though it will take place at a later time. Even though we have already mentioned that 2025 is anticipated to be a banner year for all coins, it is still anticipated that 2025 will be a banner year for all coins. This is despite the fact that Bitcoin values are currently at their highest point. The price is currently $2,583, which is a 2% decrease from where it was 24 hours ago. XRP's main lien is currently at 59 cents, which is a decrease of 2.67% when compared to USDT and USDC, both of which are currently trading at 99 cents. In essence, it has been holding this for quite some time. In the past 24 hours, it has had a decline of 1.6%, going from 596 to 60C in the overall market cap of cryptocurrencies, which has gone from $2 trillion to $121 billion. Where will we go next on our journey? From this point on, it is highly likely that we will continue to chop. From my point of view, we are going to continue to chop until the elections. What I expect will happen is that the markets will react as the elections draw closer. Given Trump's position, the responses will come in a large and forceful wave. This is especially true if you are aware that Trump will win by a significant margin. If Harris hadn't demonstrated that to us, we are aware that Heener would have arrived at that stage in the cryptocurrency field. The fact that she is truly interested in promoting Gary Heener, on the other hand, is distressing for everyone involved. At the very least, we will have a fresh face at the SEC, so whatever the case may be. What I have to say is that there are some rocky days ahead. Nevertheless, the value of Bitcoin 100,000 is falling this year. This article was only been delivered to us. There is not much of a metric signal available for Bitcoin in the morning, as the euphoria surrounding Bitcoin exchange-traded funds ETFs begins to wane. It asserts that the apparent demand has decreased. According to the statistics recorded on the blockchain, the demand for Bitcoin has substantially slowed down since the beginning of April, and it has even entered the negative region this month. Even while some metrics suggest that certain metrics are still solid for long-term investors, quant demand implies negative growth, which reflects increasing selling. This is the case for metrics such as Bitcoin. Unprecedented amounts of Bitcoin are being accumulated at the moment. The whole market capitalization of stablecoins, which reached a record high and suggested more liquidity with prior price increases, reached a new high. On the other hand, as I mentioned earlier, inflows of exchange-traded funds ETFs into large investor holdings have slowed down substantially this year. If you were to even conceive of the possibility that the general population would sell off the top of these cryptocurrency markets to huge institutions, you would be mistaken. It was going to come after you, but it's never going to happen, and it won't happen very often. Just for a moment, what are they doing? For the purpose of stockpiling, the institutions are working to keep prices as low as they possibly can. This is due to the fact that they are aware that in a few months, or possibly within 6 months to a year, these costs will never again be anywhere like where they are while they are currently operating. What actions are required of the institutions in the interim, given that they will no longer be identifiable in any way? It is imperative that they make every attempt to keep it at the lowest feasible level so that they can acquire as much as they possibly can before they are able to afford to. If you want to know when we reach the upper part of the moon, I will tell you right now. They are going to dispose of every single item possible. As XRP continues to increase, Bitcoin skyrockets past 61,000. Some people believe that. Investors are anticipating market fluctuations on Friday, which will lead to gains in the top leagues. According to Jackson Hole, it is anticipated that the chair of the Federal Reserve would deliver comments on the matter. During the course of the trading days in Asia, Bitcoin was trading at a price that was higher than 61,000, and traders were getting ready for. There were some really insightful remarks made by Jerome Powell. In this particular location, Bitcoin has not been very successful. Both Solana and XRP are experiencing a fall in value. Look, it seems that we have at least worked it out at this point. Approximately 3 weeks ago, we witnessed a huge decline in the value of cryptocurrency. The moment it took a dive, everyone plunged into a state of terror in response. All of the people became tense. Even a couple of them lost their composure when they realized what they thought it was. We went back to our pre-dip levels after a period of 48 hours. I can promise you that this is taking you on a roller coaster ride of powerful emotions. This ride is referred to as the cryptocurrency, and it is easy to comprehend. The red is what you buy, and the green is what you sell. At this present moment, I am letting you know that this is a very straightforward game. It's a pretty simple game to play. Your only responsibility is to learn to control your emotions. In the event that I actually put this message into action, you will be able to control your feelings, as well as the current status of the market and the roller coaster that we are currently experiencing. I find that to be extremely fascinating. It has been recommended by Switzerland's banking institutions that instant payment systems be activated. It is now possible for consumers in Switzerland to transfer and receive money in a couple of seconds. With the introduction of rapid payments to the market by financial institutions and commercial enterprises, there are currently over 60 financial institutions that are able to receive and process payments that are made immediately. It covers more than 95% of retail payment transactions in Switzerland, however, by the end of 2026 at the very latest, all financial institutions that are participating in actual retail payment transactions will be available at this time. The fact of the matter is that we can already see this being adopted and taken up. What comes first, exactly? The quick payments have been made by, and although we have discussed it a little bit, we have kind of forgotten about it because we felt as though we had drilled it into everyone's mind for a sufficient amount of time for them to understand it. Please be aware that you will not be paid at this time. In the event that you do not already possess an instant payment, it will be the first one. In this particular circumstance, what do we interpret? In the event that the fast payment system is active, you will be able to get your quick payment. At the moment, 60 financial institutions, which accounts for 95% of all retail payment transactions in Switzerland, are able to accept instant payments. You are correct in transferring them to the immediate settlement. As a result of the fact that you cannot have an instant payment without the settlement, we are going to proceed in the same manner as we had intended. According to the Liebhaus, attaining the goal of getting ripples moving first for XRP is the holy grail for the cryptocurrency. Following the completion of the changeover, they will proceed to the digital rails. They are only implementing it in workflows at this time. They will get XRP, which is the holy grail, once they have achieved the realization that it is functional. Additionally, it originates from Dilip himself. This is what these payouts are actually demonstrating to us. Attempt to convince them to move to real-time payments that are practically instantaneous. You will be able to receive them as soon as they make the transition to real-time payments. Everyone is upset about the video that they have been yelling about, which is about real-time settlements. Their complaints are directed toward the film. With regard to that, I am completely clueless as to the reason for it, but this is RuPaul before we finish playing for 58 seconds. Please allow me to provide you with a brief summary of the music that I will be playing for you. For some inexplicable reason, people are concerned about him because he has a condescending attitude toward XRP and AD, even though I am not entirely certain that he has a terrible mouth. As soon as you have finished listening to this, I will demonstrate something that will make you laugh. I am not sure why. Indeed, it is comparable to the game 2 Babel. It is possible that you will adore it. As far as I am aware, I ask that you proceed with whatever powerful impetus there is, and I will do so forever. You should be afraid that this will be the big one when you return to the room. Although you will be inundated with notifications, you must make sure that you do not lose.